Andrew Vasher, head men's basketball coach at Hartnell College. This morning we want to talk about our defensive philosophy. Our defensive philosophy is to disrupt the rhythm, pattern, and flow of the other team's offense. We want to force them into situations that they haven't practiced. We want to create a one of them against our fives situation, and we want them to settle for hard shots. Now, how do we do that? There's three principles that we really focus on: ball pressure, defensive spacing, and communication. Ball pressure. We have a term, let the ball talk, on offense. As we move the ball and we move our players, the ball will find the open man. Let the ball talk. Ball pressure doesn't let the ball talk, doesn't let the ball see. We use our ball pressure to take away the vision of the offensive player, disrupt their spacing, disrupt their timing. Defensive spacing. Coach Bennett, a long time ago, when he developed the pack line, developed some very sound principles. Get in the gap. Your help is your position. We adhere to a lot of those pack line principles. We've adapted it to fit our own situation. We're in the gaps. We're in help. We don't leave corner shooters. We want 4 guys inside the pack line, 1 guy pressuring the ball. The difference for us, we're probably more like Porter Moser and Loyola of Chicago and the old Rick Majerus teams at Utah and St. Louis. We don't want middle. We're not going to allow straight line drives through the plug, through the elbow, and into the lane. We just think that breaks down your defense and causes problems that wouldn't be there if you just didn't let the ball go that way. Now, another difference is we will pick up full court, 3/4 court, and half court. Now, we'll extend that spacing. But Chuck Daly always said, offense is spacing and spacing is offense. It's every bit as important in our program on the defensive end. The last thing is communication. Communication is key. Everybody knows it. Is it something you emphasize? When your guys are talking, their knees are bent. When they're talking, their hands are up. When they're talking, they're aware of what's going on. It just brings so many things and helps it to be a player-led team when they're talking on the floor. Now, some basic principles. Ball pressure. Mike Dunlap used to have a term that says, get in the neutral zone. And he was a big Star Trek guy. And way back then, there was the good Star Trek guys and the Klingons, and there was a space in between. And he used that as a term to explain to his guys, if you're here and this far away from the ball with your hands, there's not really defensive pressure and the ball can see. But if you get in that 4 or 5 inch area and get into that 1 inch area, now the defense has created the offense to be extremely uncomfortable, take away his vision, and now he's worried about you. We do that with our hands. We keep a gap with our feet. When the ball's put on the floor, we show our hands. 90% of all hand check fouls come within the first dribble. We show our hands. We get a big push step and look for a second step cutoff and chest them up and stay with them. But we keep our hands where the officials can see them so they can't call a hand check. Baylor has taught on that second step, if they hit you in the chest with their forearm, you go down. That was an interesting concept for us, but since COVID came, we haven't been able to put it into place and see how it will affect with our guys, since we haven't been able to meet with our players since March 14th. So we're looking forward to maybe being able to do some conditioning here in the next few weeks, and maybe practice sometimes in California when you get in the orange, which we haven't been since the beginning. So that's where we're at with that. Another thing we do different than the pack line is we switch everything. We switch almost everything we can. We think that makes us better. We want to disrupt the rhythm, pattern, and flow of the team's offense. We believe switching gives us a better opportunity to do that. We're not going to be the most athletic team we play. We're not going to be able to play you get you, you get you, you get you. But our 5 can guard yours. Rick Pitino has a term, play the ball, see your man. And that's something we preach over and over again. And switching allows us to keep pressure on the ball, keep our defensive spacing, and keep someone in the plug area to keep those straight line drives through the nail and into the lane. We teach all our defensive concepts on how to play it as if we weren't switching. All the different types of screen, we play as if we aren't switching. Because then, if there comes a situation where we don't want to switch, our kids will be able to. But we're really going to switch almost everything. And we would like to be able to do it 1 through 5. But that really depends on which 5-man's in the game and his ability to stay in front of the ball for 2 dribbles. How do we do it? Talk, touch, switch. You talk it, you touch it, then you switch it. And those are the same concepts we used when we weren't switching. Now the only difference is that we would have a switch. And on any dribble handoffs, we switch up to take away the shot. On any off-ball screens, we switch to deny to keep the ball from going into the pack line. One of the things we really do that make our defense is critical component is the stunting. We stunt on the catch, 1 pass away. This allows us to stay in the plug a little bit longer, to keep the drives out of the lane. And on that stunt, you're going to create some indecision and hesitation on the man on the catch. And that will give your defensive player to return to the ball an extra 0.3 or 0.4 of a second to give a high hands closeout and continue to be in our defensive spacing. One of the big things we do is we really teach our players how to handle a scramble situation. Good offenses will put your defense into a scramble situation. Do you practice so your players know what to do? We do it every single day. We are going to work on a scramble situation, 5-on-4, 4-on-3, half court, 3/4 court, full court, every single day. Because your kids have to know what to do, have to have confidence that they can do it, and understand how important communication is in that principle. It's something our kids love to do. It's great. It really helps them understand how much ground they can cover if they're anticipating and communicating. The last 2 points we want to talk about is we can test all shots. Get a hand up. Pat Riley did a study many, many years ago with the Lakers. Hand up, 17% drop off. And that's in NBA players. What would it be at our level? It's got to be more. And even if you're a step away, get a hand up, it'll make a difference. Last thing, 5-man defensive rebounding effort. This is something we chart. And when you chart it, you're going to find out even your best guys that you thought were boxing out and being where they're supposed to be, they're barely there 40% of the time. Now, we're not a box out hold. We're a hit and go get team. But we want those guys to be where they're supposed to be 90% of the time. And as you chart it and show them, they're at 40. The difference between a great defensive team and a mediocre team is basically 3 possessions. And you don't know when those 3 possessions are going to happen. If you could show we're going to get you to 50%, 60%, 70%, 80% of being where you're supposed to be when a shot goes up, you're going to be able to show them through film and analytics their points per possession are going to go down. Their field goal percentage are going to go down. The points are going to go down. The free throws they get are going to go down. That's powerful information and creates a tremendous amount of buy-in and how important that 5-man rebounding effort is. We love our defense. We don't want to have a defense that beats up on bad teams and can't win championships. We feel confident that we can go against anybody at our level and compete and stay in games and give ourselves a chance to win. If you want to know more, A. Vasher, Vasher at hartnell.edu, hartnell.edu. We also have a monthly newsletter. If you want to sign up for that, just shoot me an email and we will put you on the chain that sends it out. Have a great week. Dare to be uncommon. Make an impact in somebody's life. John Gordon has a great challenge. Start the year with 1 word. Find one. Just Google John Gordon, 1 word, and he gives you 6 or 7 days what that means. Huge impact in our lives. Our team does it every single year. Really has helped our kids. Thanks for your attention. If you have any questions, again, we are an open book and always available for anyone that has any questions. Have a great week. Bye.